The Kitos War, rebellion of the diaspora, Trajan about to finish the conquest of the Parthian Empire, Estonians in 1918, when they need more men to fight the Bolsheviks and see young schoolboys. You'll be a soldier. Who would win? Over 500 Red Army soldiers, some Finnish farmer. You wrote an extra long report to inform the emperor while praising him. He punishes you because he hates long report. You rewrite the report to be under 500 words and became the standard for future reports. The emperor still punishes you because it shows you clearly can keep things short but didn't. Autobus when Romabus mourn the fall of Rome. Autobus when they celebrate the fall of Rome. Martin Luther after nailing some paper to a door. This will totally alter the course of European history. People who call Rommel one of the greatest tank commanders. Rommel who used infantry tactics. The carriage in front of the one carrying the first emperor of China. A 160 pounds metal cone tossed by a buff dude. First World War literature be like, war is hell. War is hell. My Murican friend. Why are there hardly any Jews in Europe? Me. 1519. Your Highness, I have come here prepared to travel towards the Spice Islands with 5 ships and 270 men of Spain. May God guide you on this voyage. 1522. What happened? We succeeded, but suffered greatly. When you launch a coup but only one dude follows you. French miners. Polish miners. The French unionist who thinks that their strikes against the Germans will be a bloodbath. Polish wives who speak German. I need someone to save us from the Aztecs. Maybe send an angel. The best angel you have. Laughs in Spanish. America finishing its civil war. France trying to establish a monarchy in Mexico. A brief history of Hawaii. Odysseus when he is just trying to get home to his wife, but he keeps getting sent on random-ass detours. King Julian, how long is this going to take? Stephen of Blois besieges Empress Matilda as part of their bloody war for the crown of England. Matilda. Hey, could I leave and get safe conduct over to Gloucester so that I can join forces with my biggest ally? Stephen. Yeah, sure. Have a nice trip. Matilda, along with literally everyone else with more than a half brain cell. It's funny how dumb you are. Austria, Georgia, giving the world some of its most brutal dictators, but nobody remembers you for it. A genuinely wholesome story, which teaches good values to those who read it. A story fucked up beyond any form of human comprehension. An endless crucible of humankind's worst possible natures. A testament of how fucked up any human can be. Me reading about mythology. Making English the only language of instruction in both public and private schools. German, Polish, Scandinavian communities. Republicans in Wisconsin in 1889. Why would they vote for the Democrats? POV. Your Franklin Pierce in 1856. The administration of Franklin Pierce has been true to the great interests of the country. Now please fuck off. Democratic National Convention. Confederates. Criticize their second flag as being too white. Ironic. Macedonia existing again after 2,500 years. I'm back. How England is portrayed in media when fighting France. How England is portrayed in media when fighting Scotland. Visualizing in the mirror the man I want to become. Most of history of Christianity in China versus Japan. China. You got any more of that Christianity? Japan. Shame. Stealing a Confederate train. James J. Andrews. Anthony Murphy chasing the train on foot for 7 hours. Russian Empire. Soviet Union. German Empire. Germany sending Lenin to Russia in 1916. Germany in 1945. In 1895, Ohio, there exist only 2 cars in the entire state. Okay, and then they crash to each other. Attila the Hun, rampaging from the east of Europe all the way to the eternal city that is Rome. Rome sent out what appears to be an old man with a scroll that basically says, "No, Attila the Hun." Today, we have sturdy plates that we put our food on. Pre-16th the century medieval dude looking at his trenchers, basically a plate put on their food, which is entirely made up of bread. After all, why not? Why shouldn't I eat my trencher? Me, simply enjoying my graham crackers. My friend and his very outspoken brain. Did you know? This food is meant to suppress your lust. Me. Before individual plates exist, there's only a communal place where people put food on. It's called trenchers. It's either made up of one of the following: metal, wood, good old bread. How to integrate conquered nations. Rome. First we harmonize religions, then build roads and change the language. Assyrian Empire. First we skin the adult men, then we put images of it everywhere so they don't forget. Holy Roman Empire after killing its best general Wallenstein in the 30 Years' War. Yeah, this is big brain time. Mr. President banned the Chinese for 20 years. No. Mr. President banned the Chinese for 10 years. Fine. I can't wait to learn more about post-colonial African history. Random general takes power, becomes a dictator, and kills 100,000 people. Gets assassinated and replaced by another violent general who kills twice the amount of people. Time traveler moves chair. The timeline. Invade Russia. Take Moscow. Just sit there as you wait for peace terms. Just sit there as you wait for peace terms. Germans every couple generations. Europe. Georgia neighboring both of them. Ottomans trying to expand their empire. Persian Empire trying to do the same. France. What about our colonial empire? Rest of the world. You've had one. Yes, but what about a second one? Ino Tadataka after no one wants to make a map of Japan. Fine, I'll do it myself. If I had a nickel for every time a rare storm event entirely destroyed one of my invasion fleets that could have changed the course of Asian history, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it is weird that it happened twice. Average Old Norse learner. Average Gothic enthusiast. The Dutch during the 17th century. The natives. As long as the spice keeps running, everyone will be left alone. The French in the 90s for some reasons. John Adams when it came to slavery and relations with Native Americans. John Adams when it came to civil liberties. I have an army. We have a York. Is 2 a lot? Depends on the context. Dollars, no. Assassinated presidents who were replaced by a guy named Johnson? Yes. Mexican Empire. Looks inside. Austrian Emperor. Pompey the Great after entering the Holy of Holies part of the Jewish temple. There is nothing here. Grant the English a papal bull to invade Ireland in order to reign in the church, the papacy. The English later institute the Protestant Anglican Church and enforce it in Ireland, the papacy. Prussia on June 14th, 1866. Wait a minute. I hate Austria. Atreus. Menelaus. What you got there? A wooden horse full of bloodthirsty Greek warriors. Odysseus. A smoothie. Finland. 300 plus Hungarian volunteer fighters. Germany. Soviet Union. What you got there? Hungarian volunteers. Finland. Lost ski tourists. Teleports behind you. Teleports behind you. Man, I wish there was a way to better understand the Constitution and the intent of the framers. The Federalist Papers. Tipu Sultan. France, we need help. France. Sorry, we are in a bit of a crisis right now. Tipu Sultan. We need help against the British. France. Margaret of Anjou. To the media trying to demonize my husband, let me just say this. Your commentary on Henry being erratic and his tweets being disturbing is actually scary. So quick to label him as having mental health issues for just being himself when he has always been expressive is not fair. Henry VI. I am nice at ping pong. The French realizing they could make Tarare swallow important documents so they would not get stolen in transit. Your lavish, boundless gluttony will save this kingdom. Cato forcing Caesar to read a note he was given during the Senate session. The note is a love letter from his sister, Ian Paisley, Otto von Habsburg, John Paul II. When you realize that the future generation will hate you because of your poems. When the Gulf War starts, and I have to destroy a golf course. Artemis after taking revenge on a nymph by getting her raped by Dionysus for the crime of insulting her virginity. Almost lost my cool there. Stalin. Leon Trotsky enjoying his life in Mexico. You elect that shorty but charismatic guy. He starts to say weird things. And start wars with other countries. Now he is there forever. Modern boys waking up. Even if I have a dozen alarms, I can't wake up. Medieval men waking up. Thank you, Rooster. It is time to labor. I got you, man. I'll take you to see some provincial slaves getting mauled by wild animals. Ancient Roman girl. Mystics, occultists in medieval times. I shall commune with the astral plane and bind angels and demons to my will and use the knowledge they grant me to work wonders. New Age grifters now. Why is not the super ultra mansion you manifested not working? You are not thinking hard enough. Go draw more sigils. The US spending 180 years building up beautiful, rich, dense cities with amazing infrastructure that were the envy of the world. Suburbanization and the automobile. Raise the US flag. Raise the UK flag. Hawaii in 1812. The beast had tusks and multiple people were riding on it. Alright, say no more, I know what you mean. Being a socialist, pro-women's rights, and abolitionist that criticized Lincoln for being too moderate on slavery. Being supported by the Democrats for president in 1872 because he was not Grant. Horace Greeley. Italy on April 26, 1915. Wait a minute, I hate Austria-Hungary. Pope John Paul II, Queen Elizabeth II, bestowing knighthood on Sir Jimmy Savile for his work with children. You will dissolve the 800-year-old Holy Roman Empire. Napoleon Bonaparte. Oh, and I am gonna marry your daughter. Okay, here's half my client states. Francis II. Screeching. Japanese cruiser captains during World War II. Ditch torpedoes like a coward. Keep torpedoes and blow up. Any chance you can make the music a bit louder? Tchaikovsky. Say no more. John Rabe complaining against the Japanese atrocities in Nanking. Japanese journalists critical of Nazi ideology and atrocities. European imperial powers when the Axis occupied their countries and faraway colonies. I am too weak. Same European countries, after having their asses liberated by the Allies themselves, swinging back at their colonies when they wanted independence too. Unlimited power. Japan. Anime. 1990s Latin America. Adolf Hitler. Benito Mussolini. Francisco Franco. Oswald Mosley. Pope Clement VII. Swiss Guards. Be President of the United States. Control Alice Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt. Pope Innocent IV. Cannons of Lion. The Cardinals. Horses. North America. You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me. Capture a soldier fighting for Pancho Villa. Sentence him to death by firing squad. He survives. He survives. POV. You have been promoted to officer in the Vietnam War. I want to live. I want to live. POV. You are a native living on the east coast of North America in the 1600s when you see some strange objects in the middle of the ocean. Hello, I am a British person. Putin in 1999 as Prime Minister. I love democracy. I love the Republic. Putin in 2000 as President. Unlimited power. Normal people. What is Bava Batra? Russian experts on Jews. Bava Batra is not a book, he is a man. Bava Batra. Appears out of nowhere, was supposedly a cupbearer. Wins 34 battles and defeats 50 ensis. Washes his blood-coated swords at the coast of the Persian Gulf. Creates the first known empire. Refuses to elaborate further. France, when Russia signed a defense treaty with Germany, even though Russia is already allied with France. British soldiers in the Crimean War before the Crimean War. Never thought I would die fighting side by side with a Frenchman. How about side by side with a fellow colonial empire? I could do that. Learnings about Roman history via history class. Learning about Roman history via Asterix. Germany getting its first colonies in the late 19th century. How you do fellow colonial powers. Shao Talon trying to scout the enemy. A ballista bolt. English history. The Battle of Bumfuck upon Tweed changed the course of world history. 3 new religions invented, still taught in elementary schools the world over. Casualties, 432 dead and 1 twisted ankle. Chinese history, the Wang Dang Chong incident. Minor footnote in history, no records of why it happened, had no impact and was completely forgotten. Casualties, 43 million dead, 5 million civilians eaten, mass graves still being found. Irish Atmospheric Railway, Flying Scotsman, Union Soldier in 1861. I am kind of bored being a farmer, so I think I will go enlist. Might as well since it will not last past Christmas. Union Soldier in 1864. No peace with the drivers of our fellow humans until the last drop of blood. Yuha explaining to the chief of the donkey market about his donkey's relationship with him. World War II superweapons people usually think of. The real best World War II superweapon, the American Industrial Complex. Apollo. Hey, would you like to go out sometime? Daphne. Girlfriend. My parents are not home tonight. Me. I told you I cannot come over. Girlfriend. But the French are threatening my center. Me. Preserve the colors. Aggressive bagpipe sounds intensify. Alexander. Looks like I should visit this temple. Ancient Egyptians. Speak no more. Henry VIII. Invents brunch. His personal chef. Prague citizens in 1419 and 1618. Their local officials. Teddy Roosevelt getting shot during a speech, determining it did not hit any vital organs, then finishing his speech. Reading about the real Oskar Schindler after watching Schindler's List. Learning the real Amon Goeth, was somehow even worse than the movie character. South Korea's economy under Park Chung-hee. South Korea's human rights record under Park Chung-hee. The British Raj, Bhagat Singh, Joshua Chamberlain, Civil War buffs, Strong Vincent, Patrick O'Rourke,